coming to you live from AOD Studios in beautiful downtown Kansas City, Missouri. It's time for Top Shelf, the Elevated Life, with Vernon McClanahan, Zack Smith, Chuck Green, and Dave Stevenson. Now, it's showtime!
Oh, it's showtime. We're back, and you know what? Hey, it's been a long time coming, and I just want to say that we're glad to be back. We're glad to see all you guys here tonight, and I've got a few notes in front of me, so if it looks like I'm reading a little bit, I am. You know, we've been cramming to get this set together and everything, and so, we didn't get fully prepared to do what we're doing, but we're going to do it because here we are. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Top Shelf, the Elevated Life. I'm your host, Big V. And today, the whole show is about diving into the lives of the guys here on the set and the guys of Top Shelf here that you're going to be spending your time with. So before we jump in, though, and get going, I want to introduce my fantastic co-hosts, Zack, Chuck. So say hello to the world here. Say hello, Zack.
Hey, everyone. Are you ready for an adventure? Let's get ready to elevate. It'll be a good time.
What are we going to elevate? Elevate, don't hate.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. Elevate, and, don't hate.
Those of you who've been watching us for a long time on our other platform, you're going to notice a lot of changes about our show. So hang in there, and I think you're going to love it. So, Chuck, talk to us, man.
Absolutely. Well, we're here to pump you up physically, emotionally, financially. Get ready to elevate your mindset. We've got a whole lot coming in this show. And I want to give a shout out in the comments if you guys are ready to change your life and change your lifestyle. And I hope you're ready for the ride.
And that's Chuck. Mm-hmm. So, Top Shelf, the Elevated Life. This is all about the elevated life tonight. And the whole show is about the elevated life. Everything about living an elevated life. I'm going to go off track here a little bit, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the show, if you guys don't mind.
That's fine.
Okay? Yeah. And, a lot of you know that we're coming off of a platform that was centered around medical cannabis. We did a lot of advocating from speaking down at the Capitol in support of medical cannabis and recreational cannabis. We did a lot on that platform, but we want to move on. We want to grow and we want to expand. So we're going to get a little deeper into what we're all about and the direction that this show's going and where we're taking it to. So today again is all about getting to know the minds behind Top Shelf. And what makes us tick, what gets us high on life, not just the cannabis, but everything that gets us high on life. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to make you laugh. We're going to make you cry. And we're going to piss you off a little bit too sometimes. So, and we're just going to have a lot of fun doing it. And so, jumping in, let's talk to Zack. A lot of you know Zack.
Yeah.
Zack, tell us about So you're an outdoor enthusiast.
Yep, love getting out in the woods, out in the nature.
You're a veteran.
Yep.
You're a medical cannabis caregiver.
Yep.
You're a father.
Yep.
You're a husband.
Father and husband.
Not necessarily in that order.
Right. I'm a son too.
He's a son of a son.
Yeah.
You're a son. He's
nice
a son
save,
of
nice
a
save
something.
there.
So, how'd you end up here, man?
Dude, it has been, being an outdoor enthusiast, I just love adventure, and my whole life's kind of been an adventure. I grew up kind of all over the place.
Okay,
moving
so
around.
you grew up in the desert.
Grew up mainly in the desert, kind of out of there every once in a while, but mainly most of my childhood was spent down in southern Arizona, out where, out my back door there was 100 miles of nothing, just open desert. So we were able to get out and do whatever we wanted to as children out there, and that's really where my passion for getting outdoors and going camping and doing all that stuff really sprouted from.
When you were a kid, did you go tip rocks over and then chase the horny toads?
We did do some stuff like that.
Did you have a lot of horny toads in
There was a lot of horny toads, but you didn't have to chase them. They'd turn around and look at you.
I mean, they're horny, bro.
Exactly.
They're like, come get some, big boy. Is that what they did?
Yeah. No, but they would spit blood at you, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. There was a lot of fun stuff. Lizard.
We won't even talk about some of those stories when I was younger, but anyway.
But yeah, lots of stuff out there to mess with. Lizards, horny toads, snakes, all sorts of stuff. And it's
spiders, dude. Don't forget spiders.
Scorpions.
Scorpions.
Got stung by a lot of scorpions growing up.
Oh yeah. Black one though.
No, they were all tree bark scorpions.
Yep. Okay, so yeah.
But I went from there. And I actually, my senior year of high school, I relocated up here to Kansas City. And I had never been to the Midwest prior to that. I had grown up West Coast my whole life and came to Kansas City my senior year, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the change of scenery. Prior to that, I had seen Nevada, Texas, Arizona, Southern California. But when you come to the Midwest, it's like a whole new world out here.
There's snow here.
There's snow. There's trees.
Trees. Oh my God.
Trees.
They're green.
And there's no just open dirt. Out in Arizona, there's plenty of places that it's just dirt.
That's why nothing grows there.
Right.
It's because that nothing grows in dirt.
Right.
What part of Arizona, Zach?
I grew up in a little town called Florence.
Okay.
And it is very popularly known for its prison population. There was a lot of prisons in this little town.
Interesting.
So it was, very interesting town. You go down the main street, and the right half of Main Street was all prisons. And then you had the town to the left side of Main Street.
No kidding.
So, it was a very interesting town to grow up in, I'll admit that. But, moving here, I got to experience, the Midwest. And my first winter up here, we had a blizzard. And, I had...
Snowmageddon.
Right. Oh, man, it was crazy because prior to that, I had only seen snow on the top of this mountain called Mount Lemmon. And you could go during the middle of the summer.
I used to live in Tucson. I'm familiar with Mount Lemmon.
Yeah. So you could go there during the summer. It'd be 100 degrees out in Tucson. And you go an hour drive up Mount Lemmon and there's snow up top. But it was like year-round, like permafrost. It was different than like regular snowstorms and stuff.
Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas kicked ass.
Oh yeah, it did. And what's crazy is, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit, but I have moved away from Kansas City 4 times, and I have come back every time. There's just something about this city that keeps bringing me back.
Same.
So, but after high school, after I graduated, wanted to find something to do with my life, so I decided, like most of the men in my family, I'm going to go join the military, and ended up working on Abrams tanks, which was very interesting. I did that for a while and got it forced out by a medical discharge, unfortunately. I hurt my shoulder and blew out my knees, and like too common, the VA got me all hooked up on all their candy that they like to give out to everybody.
How many times have we heard that story?
Oh, too many. Way too many.
I mean, we work with so many veterans who are addicted to opiates and psych meds for that matter.
Right. Oh, yeah. That was luckily one I didn't go down that road to. I did with the sleeping meds. And, I mean, I got off all my meds from all this like 10 years ago, and I still have issues because of the sleeping meds that they gave me back then. But, yeah,
How'd you get off of them?
Well, I went in one day for a routine checkup, and they did some blood work, and they informed me my liver was at a point where it was failing. And outside of the meds, I wasn't drinking at the time. I wasn't really, all I was doing was taking the pills that the VA was giving me. And was going to liver failure. And the minute they told me that, I went home and I flushed everything. I'm like, no. You guys are trying to kill me. This pain sucks, don't get me wrong, but I ain't going to do that to my body just because I got some pain. So I flushed them all, and that's when I picked up cannabis. and started self-medicating with cannabis. Now this was far before, Missouri went medical.
Right.
But I've been treating myself for 10 plus years with cannabis, and
thankfully it went medical.
It went medical. Shortly after it went medical, me and V got the chance to meet each other, and through the whole veterans, helping veterans connect with cannabis and everything, and
right.
we kind of clicked right off the bat. And then Top Shelf, the Artisans of Dank was born. And
in my garage,
in your garage on a cell phone, and it just grew from there. I went from being a cannabis user, an illegal cannabis user, to a legal cannabis patient, and then after meeting you and really getting into growing and learning the craft, I went from a patient cultivator to a caregiver. And now
you realize your passion in helping other veterans and other people who dealt with chronic pain and such, right?
And not only veterans either, anybody that's, our medical system is so heavy towards pills and opiates and stuff that I've even found a few of my patients that were heavy opioid users, and through cannabis, I've gotten some of them completely off the opiates, and that's,
it happens.
It
believe
is
it or not.
a very, very fulfilling feeling.
Right.
When you can help somebody get off of the poison, because that's really all it is poison.
It's poison, and this is something that you and I share a passion
Yes.
for. And I know Chuck has a passion for it too, though, even though his life path hasn't taken him that direction. But this is something that you and I share a strong passion for.
Yes.
And so as a result, we wanted to help educate people, and we started Top Shelf, the Artisans of Dank. First couple episodes were in my garage. This is
new favorite show. I wish I would have had that for this.
We should have.
Do a little reminiscing.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll do some reminiscing one day, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's awesome, man. And here you are. We've done some big things, and that we'll talk about at a later date. But
it's through the Top Shelf and everything. I think I have found my life's calling, or my life's passion through all that, and that is being able to create this content, being able to put these videos together and help educate and teach and entertain people.
And the production, and since we shut down Top Shelf, the Artisans of Dank, to build a new platform and go another direction, you started working with some local film guilds and stuff like that, whatever you call them,
Right.
people that make
film
videos,
coalitions.
film coalitions.
Yeah.
You started doing that and getting a little better with what you do, and
Learning
man,
the
I'll
tricks
tell
of
you
the
what,
trade.
you're going to see it here. You're definitely going to see it here. So, so that's Zack Smith, aka Zackalaka.
Zackalaka.
Zack Attack. I don't know. I call him
Boom
all kinds of
Zackalaka.
shit. Boom Zackalaka.
Boom
I call him all
Zackalaka.
kinds of stuff. I just don't call him late for the gym.
Right.
He's always 5 minutes early.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I love about this dude. He's always there 5 minutes early. We're supposed to meet at 7 a.m. He's there at 7:55.
6:55.
6:55.
I'm not 55
See,
minutes
I'm
late.
an hour late, bro. So anyway, man. Most of you know Chuck or Zach. Those of you who don't, now you know him a little better.
Hi.
But,
Now you know me.
and here in a little bit. So I do want to ask you.
What's up? I'm nervous
Or
now.
maybe we'll talk about it afterwards here. Let's talk about a few things after we come back from our break here in a little bit. So, one of the things I do want to say, I want to talk a little bit about before we talk to Chuck here is, our giveaways. We are going to continue to do giveaways. We're just going to handle them a little different. We're not going to do them on the same level, and we're not going to start them tonight. We're going to do trivias. We're going to do tagging. And you know what? We're not going to call it the Wheel of Dank anymore.
No. We'll just use the actual name of the program, Wheel of Names.
Wheel of Names?
That's
that
the name.
Sucks, dude. Oh, man. I'm talking, what did I call it earlier?
We could call it the Wheel of Fortune.
Nah, what did I call it earlier?
The
Wheel of Destiny.
Wheel of
Wheel of
That's
Destiny.
what we're going to
There you
call
go.
it. The
Okay.
Wheel of Destiny.
Here, let me make
Destiny.
I'm gonna make note of that.
I just want to make note. I got my Tony Robbins hat. So me and Chuck went to Tony Robbins earlier this year, and I'm going to say this is.
I got the
you
bracelets
You
on.
couldn't buy this hat, okay? You couldn't buy this. It's the Tony Robbins Be Blessed edition. Of course, it's your black clover, but it's a white clover. It says blessed. And it's the only hat that I've found in a long time that fits me, that looks good. But anyway, I don't know. That's kind of just felt like sharing that for some reason. So anyway, we are definitely going to be having some really cool giveaways, and so don't worry about that. That's all going to come back, and we are going to be rocking that shiznit. So right now, we've got a good friend of mine. I've known this guy for a long time.
3 decades.
Little Chucky Green. We'll talk about that later. But Chuck, a.k.a. Chuck G, because green.
Because I'm an OG now.
And because one of his things is he's our specialist on money matters. Chuck G for green. See? That's hey.
Green for money.
Green. Health, as far as, men's health, hormonal health, physical health, eating right, things like that, which is something, that's what's good about this panel, is we all share this same passions about a lot of this stuff. So it strengthens that cord.
Similarity in mindset.
He's all about health, wealth, and hustle. Y'all know what I am. Hashtag Heart of the Hustler. We're all about the hustle around here. We're going to talk about Chuck. He's an inspirational speaker. He's a health and fitness guru. So how did you end up here, Chuck? Tell us how you balance the barbells, the dollars. What else? I had something written down here. Shit, man.
Barbells,
dollars, dumbbells, and inspire others. See, I knew I wrote something cool.
It's all good.
Anyway.
Well, first of all, I'm really happy to be here and happy to be a part of this new adventure that we're all going on together. What brings us together is a similarity in mindset. You and I have known each other a very long time. As I've gotten to know Zack here on the show, and even before we started this, man, we all just love what we're doing and the passion for life. So what brought me here is I've been an underdog most of my life, so I have a huge heart for the underdog and a passion for helping others. Yeah, and because we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, we did.
We both came up from a rough life. I went from being homeless on the streets to finding myself serving some time. And of course, we all have a story.
Yeah, we
but
all
the
got a
key
story.
is you can change your story at any moment in your life.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty proud of myself for reinventing myself completely over the past 5 years. I don't even recognize myself anymore from who I used to be. And how I got to that point was going through all the challenges and hard times that many of us go through in life.
So I'm going to jump in here and
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, dude. So do you feel like, you say you reinvented yourself. Now, do you feel like that you went from being somebody that you weren't to your authentic self now?
Absolutely.
So you found yourself.
Found myself, and most importantly, all I was doing before was tearing my life apart by running from all of the things that I didn't want to face.
Right.
And that includes what I needed to face internally. So anyway, all of that led to a passion for self-empowerment, self-development, and finding out how to live my best life. I've completely reinvented myself, and right now it's all about health, wealth, hard work, the hustle. As Vernon mentioned, I'm passionate about finances and how to have a great personal finance life and all that goes into that. So I can't wait to help everyone on this journey that we're going to go down.
We're going down a path, brother.
We are.
We're definitely going down a path. So, and on that note, we have known each other a long time.
Long time, 3 decades.
Okay, so, when we were kids, you're a few years younger than me. I was the older kid in the neighborhood. I was the kid that you didn't want to hang around with. I don't know, your parents.
He was the guy your mom always warned you about.
Yeah.
Well, I was
That's
too. What
not
can I say?
true.
I
Don't believe it.
was too, though.
Okay. So anyway, we crossed paths once or twice, you know, probably me riding by you on my bike and everybody going, "That's Vernon McClanahan. Throw a rock at him." You know,
Yeah, we had
shit
some
like
mutual
that. I don't
friends
know.
too, like
Yeah, we had a lot
Bobby
of-
Jeffries,
Yeah.
Ronnie Nichols, all them
Oh
guys.
yeah,
so-
those guys.
yeah.
Bobby Woods, you know,
Bobby
all
Woods,
those,
all
everybody
those
was
guys,
friends with
yeah.
Bobby Woods. So, but yeah, but you know, life didn't take. We really we grew up same neighborhood. I went away when I was young. We'll talk about that some other time. And you know, what I want to talk about is that you know, we met up again when you were in your early 20s.
Early 20s.
And I was kind of in my late 20s,
Yep.
kind of right in the middle there, you know.
Yep.
I think I was about 28,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. So anyway, but we actually met up again in church, believe
Yeah,
it or not.
in church.
I had gone to visit the
Church
a
that I was
church,
attending at the time.
and I walked in there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go in here. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna sit in the back.
He tried to stay incognito.
Yeah, I was really trying to lay low, you know. I just wanted to go in where nobody knew who I was, and I wanted to listen to the message, right? So I was seeking some answers. And so after it was all over and everything, and all the craziness stopped, because we were Pentecostals, so, but all the craziness stopped. It was a lot of fun, dude, you got to admit. And I'm
had some good
standing there,
times.
and I'm talking to some people, and this dude comes up, and he goes, Vernon McClanahan. I'm like, yeah, that's me. He goes, don't you remember me? I'm little Chucky Green.
Little Chucky Green.
And I'm like, oh, you know what? I do remember you. He's about 5 years younger than me. So, you know, he was only like 8 or 9 years old running around the neighborhood when I was running around the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
something like that.
I went away at 16, 15, 16. So, you know, and it was like, okay, cool. So we started talking, started kicking it, started hanging out,
Yeah.
started going to some group meetings, some
Bible studies,
home uplift
yeah.
groups. We called them hugs groups.
Yeah.
You know, got involved in some in some Bible study groups and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and then we had our little adventure in business.
Yeah, we had some really adventurous business business outings together.
Quick Star.
Yeah,
If
that
you
was
know
the
what
first
Quick
one.
Star is, yeah, that was the first one.
Amway
That-
Online.
Online Amway. Yep. I didn't even
Yeah.
have a computer.
You know, those times took us in a direction back then. It was, again, touching on how long we've known each other. We had similar mindset. We
Yep.
were following the same path. We helped each other out in so many instances. And then fast forward a little bit, we both went through a divorce.
Yeah, life took us
Life
different
took us in
directions.
completely different
I
directions.
left state.
Yeah.
And then when
And
we
then-
hooked up again in like 2008.
Yep. I think it was somewhere around in there we hooked up.
No, 2000. No, it was like 2013, bro.
Yeah, you're right, because I was working for
certified.
certified transmission at the time. Yeah.
And so
Yep.
and we hooked up and we kind of got back together a little bit, started fucking around doing some things. Oh, I'm sorry. Started fucking around doing some things. And those are people who know me think that was funny. And I'm trying to think. No, because well,
Well,
dude,
we
we did a lot of things before that.
Yeah, we did a lot. There
Okay,
was
so
a
I don't
lot
even
we're
wanna
going to leave
talk-
out of the story on that
we're
one.
gonna leave a lot out of the story.
But we
on
did. But we
before
did
that,
find
the
we
whole church time.
We
so.
found our way back in each other's lives again at that point. We were on the similar mindset
on the same
again.
path, dude.
And
on the
then-
same. That's what I'm emphasizing here.
That's the second time. Now
On the same path.
So
dude.
then our lives took a different direction again for a little while.
Yep.
And just recently, over the past year, we reconnected and we found ourselves once again. The dynamic of this story is amazing because without even knowing it, we almost followed a parallel pathway.
Yeah, almost.
Especially when it comes to the similarity in mind we have for self-development, self-improvement, and the elevated life that we're now living together.
I just want to say this, okay? Because see, I want to talk about. Okay, I hadn't talked to Chuck in probably since 2000, and I'm gonna say I think it was 14
or 15.
2014, 15. And 2 years ago, I think, or about a year and a half, about a year ago, I guess, year and a half ago, hell, I can't remember. I'm on, and I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and I jump over on Tim Gillio's club, his group, the legalizing Missouri marijuana legalization movement.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a long name.
I was looking for
Right.
some advice at the time,
Yeah.
because my wife and I were trying to look into the cannabis industry,
micro business,
yeah, the
a lot of
micro, trying to
micro
open up a dispensary, and by the way, had no idea what all that entailed.
Yeah, right.
So I made a post on this group asking for some advice or asking for some direction, and
And
in
I'm
pops
like-
Vernon. I'll
I'm
let
like-
him tell the next.
Look at this shit. Little Chucky Green wants to be in the cannabis business. So I typed something smart ass in there, right? And Big Red comes up and says, you can't type that. I'm like, fuck. So I go back in, I type something else, Big Red comes up. Nope, you can't type that. I'm like, all right, I guess I got to be nice. I'm like, hey, brother, what's up? I got you, man. I'm probably one of the guys, I'm probably, the one you want to talk to on this. And so
We ended up setting a
Was-
meeting. He invited me over to his house, and
told him why he
Yeah.
should stay the hell away
right.
from the cannabis
Told me all.
industry.
He basically set me in reality. That was just the entrepreneurial spirit in me. Looking for another source of income, which I'll go into later in financial, talks that we have. But it was great. It was a great meeting. We found out in just that very short meeting, once again, how parallel the pathway that we have been taking has become.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell
Blows
you,
my mind,
it
dude.
blows my mind. I got to tell this one quick story because I know we got to move on.
Yep.
But during this time, so in the very beginning of us reconnecting over this past year, we talked about how we get some of our inspiration and some of the people that we listen to, and we both have a lot of the same people that we
Yep.
listen to online. One of them being Wayne Dyer. So out of the blue one day, I'm driving, because of my job, it took me all over the state. So I was on the road, and I love to listen to people on the road. So I get a message from Vernon that says, hey, when you get a chance, check this video out. So I go in the message, and I hit the video link to pop up, and my screen didn't change. Because it just so happened that at that very exact moment, I was listening to the exact same video that he put in that message. Now, a lot of people might say that's just coincidence, but I got to say it came from a higher power.
I agree.
And
I call it strategic positioning.
strategic positioning for the prophetic anointing.
Absolutely. You know it, man.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was awesome,
That's a little
man.
bit about me, man. So I'm really excited to be here and help all of us go on this journey with you guys on elevating your life.
And you know what? He's a good dude. You can count on this guy to bring the knowledge. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to highlight something. When we reconnected and stuff, we were talking about things, and Chuck had a fascination with Tony Robbins. And I'm I like Tony Robbins. He's cool. I mean, that's where I got my hat from.
That's where I got these bracelets from.
Anyway,
I wear these every day.
I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've been through some of his self mastery courses back in the early 2000s, late 90s. When he first started. I think he's cool, so we decided to go to a Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not just gonna sit here and go through it, but it's a hell of an experience if you ever get a chance.
You
to
got to
go.
get a chance to go if you.
You have no idea, and make fun of him all you want, but I'm going to tell you what: if you go there, it's going to change you.
It will.
It will wake some things up in
Physiologically,
you. It
man.
will show you some ways to function and to.
It will force you to reflect on
Yes.
yourself. If you
And
really
it'll
want to
sh-
make changes in your life, it will force you to make
Right.
that reflection.
The biggest thing that I think I got out of it is how to bring yourself out of a place and bring
live in a
yourself
beautiful
into
state.
a higher state. And I actually had to do that today. I ain't even gonna lie. I was feeling pretty pissy today. Feeling pretty pissy yesterday afternoon, and one of those times when I just want to fucking go away and hide and not be around anybody. But hey, these things we learn.
So-
I bring it up. I got a great wife who gets in there and she supports me and don't treat me like an asshole.
That's why I
And,
wear these bracelets every day. I have not
helped
taken,
out,
since we got back, I have not taken these bracelets off. I even wear them when I'm in the shower. Just because
That's kinda
it's a
weird,
constant,
bro.
hey, you can say that, but I tell you what, sometimes it's a constant reminder when I get in those moments like you were just mentioning, and you need to be able to lift yourself out of it.
Right.
It's a constant reminder that I have with me that I can live in a beautiful state at any time I choose to. He's
Wear
giving
them
me
in the
that weird
shower,
look.
bro.
I do wear them in the shower.
That's funny. Anyway, you know what? It's awesome being here with you guys again. And One of the things we used to do was the news,
Yes.
like the table I built. This was awesome. We threw this place together like, pew, 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 pew.
Man,
Ice
it's been a
hit.
journey.
Yeah.
I was talking about,
man.
yeah.
Well, no.
We couldn't really
Back
get
up.
around to get materials.
We got sick.
We got sick. Yeah, we
and
all got
then
sick.
the ice hit. And the
I got
snow hit.
sick.
Yep.
And then
I
well,
got
he
sick.
got sick.
I got sick
Then I got
first.
sick. Then
Then he got sick.
Brenda got sick. Zack got sick. Everybody got sick. That was a 4-day.
Yeah.
Just one person was a 4-day bout.
Yep.
So
Right.
anyway, but we got it together. So what do y'all think? Does
Yeah.
it look good? Do you like our new
Yeah.
studio? My beautiful wife Brenda threw together the shelves for us.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't build the shelves. We, built the shelves.
But we knew it needed a woman's touch.
Yeah. And she's not done. This was stuff we're gonna be changing, and we might even bring back what's changed. We know everybody loves that, so we might bring that back. But right now, I gotta shut up,
Right.
because we used to do the news, and one of the things that we want to do is we want to change it up. So we hit up our good friend Dave Stevenson. And we talked to him about a new segment that we're going to do on the show. And it's called Not Necessarily the News. So there's going to be some news in there. There's going to be some stuff that's not necessarily the news. There's going to be some stuff that's not news at all. And so, might even be some sports talk in there. We got some stupid shit that we're going to talk about. Yup, dang Dave, Elijah.
There you
so,
go.
Anyway, damn it, Dave. Go
Damn
to
it,
the
Dave.
news. Let's just go. Go to the news.
Hi, I'm Dave Stevenson, and tonight on Not Necessarily the News, I would like to talk about some stories of self-empowerment, something that can actually inspire some positive change in your life. Tonight, let's take a look at some different stories that may be able to inspire you to make some change in your own life. In a world where challenges often seem insurmountable, there are individuals who are able to defy the odds, who embark on their own incredible journeys of self-empowerment that inspire positive change in their lives and in the lives of those around them. Meet Sarah Rodriguez, a resilient young woman who took adversity and turned it into triumph. Battling through personal struggles, Sarah found solace in self-discovery and embarked on a journey of empowerment. Through determination and a positive mindset, she not only overcame her obstacles, but also became an advocate for mental health awareness. Now let's take a look at John. John Thompson is driven by the fact that education is the key to empowerment. John, a former high school dropout, decided to rewrite his story. Through hard work and perseverance, he was able to go back and obtain his GED and pursued higher education. Today, John is a successful entrepreneur who mentors other individuals facing educational challenges, continuing to prove that it's never too late to empower oneself. And let's take a look at a small community group of friends that came together and created themselves a grassroots movement that focused on empowering local youth. By providing mentorship programs and skill building workshops to the youth, they have empowered countless young individuals to be able to pursue their passions and realize their full potential. In a world often filled with challenges, stories like these remind us that every individual has the power to not only rewrite their narrative, but overcome obstacles and contribute to a brighter, more empowered future. These tales of triumph should inspire you to believe in the transformative power of self-empowerment and encourage us to support and uplift one another on our own unique journeys towards positive change. Now, let's move to some local Kansas City news. After this brutal cold spell we've been through for the last week, how about some warm news, something to look forward to? I think we're not the only ones looking forward to warmer times, and that includes the group that's constructing the Rock Island Bridge. The Steel Railroad Bridge is slated to open this summer on June 1st after being under construction for a couple of years now. The bridge is being turned into an entertainment district that will feature a restaurant, a bar, a coffee shop, live music, and a rental venue. Located near the iconic West Bottoms and spanning across the Kansas River, the now retired railroad bridge connects to both Missouri and Kansas. This is the first of its kind in the world, said Mike Litton, Vice President and CEO of Flying Trust, the company in charge of the Rock Island Bridge. No one has ever done this with a railroad bridge before. We're bringing full-on utilities. We'll have restrooms, drinking fountains, bars, restaurants. It's exciting to be a part of this. The area near the Hy-Vee Arena and the former stockyards is currently being developed, with new apartment complexes being added to the landscape. On the other side of the river, there's an industrial park, and Litton said both sides are excited to have this connector. It's bringing this area alive, Litton said. It's truly the heart of the metropolitan area, and really the last area to see any change or development down here. So we expect to see a proverbial hive of activity, and the bridge has got to be the star of the development along the Kansas River. Litton said with the bridge redevelopment being the first of its kind, he hopes that their innovations extend to other cities and gives the idea of repurposing infrastructure. The Rock Island Bridge will be a multi-level project and will be open most of the year. You can stay up to date with the construction progress on the project's website at rockislandkc.com. I'm Dave Stevenson. See you next week on Not Necessarily the News.
Cups.
We'll be good. So.
That'd be cool.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Give it up for Dave.
Woohoo!
Yeah, good job, Dave.
Way to go,
His
Dave.
first news segment. He did a good job, and he'll only get better.
Right. This
So,
time it wasn't just the facts.
Right, it wasn't just the facts. Remember just the facts? So
Just the
yeah,
facts, man.
But we definitely appreciate Dave and everything he's doing. So yeah, okay. I was gonna move on,
Right.
talk about some other things. I was gonna talk about our show's vision 2024, what we have planned, all that good stuff. But they reminded me that I have not talked about myself. This is something that's unusual. Because
Can you
normally,
believe he's going to talk about
I
himself?
don't have a problem talking about myself. Okay, so, and also, Tamara, I hear you. The camera's too far away. Zack and I just discussed it. We will make some necessary arrangements this next time before the next show so that we zoom in a little closer on we don't have a cameraman. And all of our production in this studio is in another room with the exception of the camera. So we don't have a cameraman to work the camera right now, but next week we are absolutely going to zoom in and get a little closer so we can be a little closer, like air it extra dry or some shit like that.
Intimate.
So
Get
me,
a little
okay, they
closer.
want to hear about me.
Yeah.
Me.
How did you
know
get
what?
here?
How did
Yeah.
I get here?
Tell us about yourself.
I was born a poor black child. Oh wait, that's a movie I saw.
I thought you were the vanilla gorilla.
I am the vanilla gorilla, brother. You know, and that don't mean plain vanilla, okay? I ain't plain vanilla. I'm the whole bean, baby. Anyway, so how did I get here? It's been a long, long journey, and I'm going to spare you most of the drama. But yeah, you know, yada yada, tough childhood, stupid decisions. Made a lot of them. Did not have a lot of, like Chuck, I did not have a lot of parental supervision growing up. I was what they call free-ranged or not given a shit about as a kid.
Latchkey.
Not caged.
Latchkey, yes. I did have a home. I did have food in the refrigerator. Parents were busy living their life, and I don't hold that against them. Look, man, I've gotten past all that. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, I just basically was free range, allowed to do whatever I wanted to, and the idle time is the devil's workshop. So the devil had a good time. If you know,
Chrissy says feral.
feral, yeah, more like it right there. Yeah,
That's a good one.
It was nothing to see me up in a tree hissing, you know, at people walking by. But
I can like picture you doing that. Oh my God.
So anyway, went along as things would have it. Didn't make it through high school. Got kicked out of high school. I'd love to say I quit, but that's not necessarily the case. But I did sign my last outing of high school before I graduated. But I did, after about 2 to 3 years of, 2 years of living like an idiot, out here and there, I joined the military.
Out in the real world.
Out in the real world, it was hard. It was easier. Now, I'll say this. I was able to rent an apartment for like $160 a month for a little studio apartment. I did have a job working for the city, so I did work. I did have a place to live. I wasn't necessarily homeless for that long. I was for a little bit, but that don't matter. The point is I got my girlfriend pregnant and I went in the military to pay for the baby.
Very common story.
Very common story.
Very common.
And the GI Bill.
Oh yeah.
All the promises that were made. I went in the military, and I did my time in the military. It wasn't easy. I am somewhat of a free spirit. I am very what some people would call rebellious. So I had a lot of Article 15s. Failure to comply, things like that. I was very angry, so I just got in a lot of trouble in the military. But I got out. I was a medic. I'll say that. I was a combat medic. Yes, I really was a combat medic. And I fixed people up when they got hurt, things like that. It's a really weird dichotomy to be a combat medic, because you hurt people
right
when you're not fixing people.
And then you got to fix them.
And then you fix people, and you might have just hurt them.
Yeah.
Because, you're under a Hippocratic oath and everything, and you have to fix people that's your enemy. It's a really weird, strange dichotomy. But anyway, so got out of the military, and life was hell. Went through some real hard struggles, and at the age of 26, I found Jesus. And started getting my life together. That's the time in my life when I had my wake up. I was like, oh my God, I got 2 kids, 1 on the way, and I mean, for all general purposes, life's kind of rough. I mean, really, I lacked education, I lacked self-control, I lacked the ability to deal with my emotions. I lacked self-awareness. I mean, my whole life was full of lack. I just, because I wasn't raised,
Right.
I was just left to fend for myself. So obviously, I'm looking to, I'd gone to school. I got out of the military, went to school, became an automotive technician, worked on cars. So, had a job, did all that stuff. Paid my bills as good as I could on, a couple $100 a week. Because, when you don't have an education, and I'm not saying a formal education, I'm saying when you have not even self-educated, and I personally believe that self-education is, if you're diligent, is better than a formal education, but we'll get into that later. So anyway, I turned to religion. I didn't really turn to religion, I turned to Christ, okay? And religion was just a part of that. So I went through that, became a minister. I got my master's in divinity. That took 4 years. I already had credits from the military because I did college in the military and got my GED, and I took college courses, a few business courses, mostly philosophy, believe it or not.
You philosopher?
No, I like to philosophize back when I was
Philosopher?
Velociraptor. So I did that, and then I got out. I used those credits to go toward my master's in divinity. So, I did pursue a higher education. I became a minister. I started preaching. I became a traveling evangelist, okay? I went from church to church preaching. That's what I did. I was a youth pastor. and associate pastor at one point of a small startup church. Anyway, I actually have some kid, a girl who was one of the girls. I know her dad real well, and he's one of my patients, and she was in my youth group, and she's one of my patients. It's kind of a strange thing, but anyway. That's just a little nugget of useless information, but it's funny how you come full circle that way. So
it's all connected,
right? So I became a minister. I did that. I actually, that was a strange time for me also, because the closer I got to the Holy Spirit, the more I drew away from the religion. Okay, so
doesn't it usually go the other way?
Sometimes no, I don't think so.
Don't think so?
I think I think a lot of people that draw closer to the Holy Spirit actually draw away from the religion, because they realize that the religion and the Spirit are not necessarily in the same vibration. So anyway, that's other stuff we'll get into later. So moving on with that, I wasn't happy working with other people, and I had to make my way. By now I'm educated. I'm, in my mid-30s, and I'm like, I actually quit turning wrenches and went to work painting, and it just worked into my own business. Okay, and that entrepreneurial, because I was hell holding a job. I was a mechanic. I had, good grief, man. I can sit here and name a list of places I worked.
Oh, yeah. That's something both of us, both the two of us have in common.
I just wasn't good at keeping a job.
All three of us.
Yeah.
I come from 28 years in the automotive field also.
And
another similarity in mindset right there.
And I wasn't good at keeping a job because I'm not good at working for other people. So, I went to work. I had several sales positions. I really enjoyed sales. And that's where I really got turned on to a lot of the self-mastery, self-improvement shit is, when you get into sales, that's just part of something you're surrounded by. And so I got on that, and I started learning a lot of stuff about, how the mind works. And then, all the psychology courses that you take to get your master's degree, to become a minister, there's a lot of psychology involved in that, and you learn how the mind works, and you learn all kinds of good stuff. And so it just really set me on a journey, and that's what really fascinated me. What I thought fascinated me being a minister was actually learning how people's minds worked and how we related to beliefs and self-doubt, and that's when all that stuff started coming alive in me. So I just continued. I went into business for myself, the remodeling business, and I built a successful business and worked for years as a remodeler. And that's what I did. I raised my kids and I worked as a remodeler. It was a rough road. There were a lot of ins and outs, deals that it just don't matter. But I learned a lot of lessons in life, and I learned a lot of hard lessons in life, and I learned a lot of heartbreaking lessons in life. And so I had a lot to overcome with that. Mm-hmm. And, overcoming those things, learning how to overcome those things is what brought me to where I'm at today. Okay, I got to a point where I looked around me and I realized I'm going to have to make some really tough decisions in my life, and I'm going to have to choose and make some hard choices. One of those choices was getting out of a very toxic 25-year marriage. Honestly, as much as I want to say you should really, really, really dig in and work to make that marriage last. Look, man, if y'all ain't meant to be together, just get the fuck out, okay? And quit trying to fight something. If you're horribly unhappy and you live in a toxic situation constantly, hey, you know what? Don't let religion hold you there. Do what you have to do. It was the toughest decision I ever made, but it was the best thing I ever did for myself. And so I moved on. My wife now, I have a great relationship. I have a wonderful marriage. Didn't take long for me to meet. I already knew her. We touched base back when we were just kids, and you know, smooched a little bit under the world's fun water tower, and yeah, I told that story. And then went away. Hey, you know what? We were, you know, just like 13, 14 years old, so it was really pretty innocent. And years later,
That's a great love story.
It really is.
That's a great love story right there.
We'll get into that another time when we.
Sounds like a movie.
No, but I'd love to expand on that sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, you know, then we touched bases, you know, 30 years later, and here we are 10 years later, married and kicking ass and loving life, you know. But it's been a journey of self-awareness, personal development, overcoming obstacles, overcoming limiting beliefs, you know, and realizing what my passion is. And the only thing I can think of is giving back and helping other people who come from this life where you have no hope and it seems like you're just destined for poverty and failure your whole life. You don't have to. Just like you don't have to. You can come out of that.
Yep.
We're all three living testament that you don't have to live that way. You don't have to grow up and become that just because that's how you were raised. And that's what I want to express to people, you know. And, you know, one of the things that I, you know, share with Zack is I am a medical cannabis caregiver. I've been in the cannabis business a lot longer than Zack has.
Yeah.
But only since it's been legal. Anyway,
Going back to those
why are
days.
you
Huh?
laughing, man? You act like you don't believe me or something. Anyway,
no comment.
You know, here's the thing. I didn't realize for years I was self-medicating. I did get put on psych meds shortly after I got out of the military, and decided after I stuck a gun to my head that psych meds were not the way for me. I was one of the people that almost was taken out because psych meds made me suicidal. I had that side effect. Luckily, it didn't happen.
That's another common story right there.
Yeah, it is. Luckily,
really
it
is.
didn't happen. I actually had quit smoking weed because I should quit doing drugs and I should get on the right track and go to a psychologist and get on legal medication. I did that. Never felt like I should kill myself before in my life until I started doing psych meds. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like sitting there with a gun to my fucking head, man. So that didn't happen. So I threw that shit away and started smoking weed again, believe it or not. And then, you know, moving forward into that, you deal with chronic pain, you deal with psych. My thing was dreams, okay? I had horrible, horrible nightmares. And I had horrible emotional trauma. And so cannabis helped me deal with my emotional trauma and put me in a place where I could actually work through it instead of just numbing me. Okay, so that was my big thing. And as far as how I used to medicate, I don't medicate nearly as much as I used to medicate.
No.
But you know, it is a passion of mine. It's a passion of mine because I've watched veterans, and not just veterans, I've had friends who have had car accidents or other surgeries who've been prescribed opiates that get hooked on opiates, end up doing heroin later because they can't afford the opiates and they can't get a prescription or whatever, and their lives just spiral downward all because they had a surgery, all because they came out of the military and had chronic pain. And that's what they do. They just feed you drugs. So I am very proud to be able to work with those veterans to help them come off of those opiates and the psych meds, and to be able to work through their problems. Most of my patients that deal with the things, you know, the veterans and the more serious patients that I have, there's counseling involved too. It's not just here's some weed, I grow your weed, here, you know, go medicate. There's counseling involved. We talk when they come over. We talk for sometimes several hours about what's going on in their life and try to work through these emotional bondages. But anyway, I think I've rambled on more than what I was supposed to.
One thing I'll add to what you were saying, though, as you all out there might notice by now, we all have the similar mindset, and we all come from rough backgrounds.
Yes.
And I've always found in this world that we're diving into, in the self-development world, that most of the most successful people in the self-development world have all come from challenges in life.
Yes.
Learning how to overcome those challenges.
Absolutely.
And by building the strength that they have gotten from overcoming those challenges, they all end up like us, wanting to help,
Yes.
wanting to share, wanting to give back to the community so that we can help you guys elevate your mindset to a manner you can overcome any kind of challenge you have.
And here's the num of it.
Yeah.
We're still growing too.
Absolutely.
We're all growing together.
Yeah,
And you guys
exactly.
help us grow. We help you grow, and we all grow together.
We hope you'll stay on this
So,
journey with us.
Absolutely.
I got a shout out to make real quick. Josh Martin,
Yeah.
guy I actually served with, and he has been off his meds. He has been off all of his meds now for 2 years because
Nice.
of cannabis. So congratulations,
That's
Josh.
awesome. Way to
That's
go,
awesome.
Josh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. And we're getting down on time here, but we got some other stuff that we want to talk about.
Yes, we
do.
do.
So that's enough about me. You know the story about Zack and I met, got the podcast, all that. All you guys know who I am, know what I do. You know I'm a rosin snob. I press high quality, all that good stuff. But here, we want to give back. We want to help elevate minds. We want to entertain. We're not just going to talk about fixing yourself. We're going to talk about funny stuff, current events, stupid things, stuff that we shouldn't talk about probably, stuff that's going to get us in trouble for talking about. Hopefully we'll get canceled because we piss enough people off, okay?
Canceling us was
I mean,
just forced to keep us growing.
Brother, look, you know what? We eat haters for lunch, bro, because we just love the way they taste.
What are we going to get into next, Vern?
Well, what we're going to talk about, here's the thing. The show's vision is what we wanted to talk about, okay? And we may even go a little over here for a few minutes. But our show's vision, I just kind of shared it.
Yeah.
Our show's vision is just to bring funny shit. We've got some things we're going to do this year, some adventures. We're going to bring you guys. We want to bring you guys up to par on different things that's going on in the community, to go have fun on, to do cool shit. Want to introduce you guys to stuff that you may not even think about in the activities and things like that. One of the things that we've got going on that we're training for right now. Zach's the motivation behind this.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I want to do this. And he's like, Jeremy, we're going to do this. And Jeremy's like, fuck, okay, we're going to do this. And then I'm like, hey, I want to do this. And hopefully we can get Chuck to do this too. But what are we going to do there?
It's called the Mammoth March.
The Mammoth March.
And we even have a little image for that. Go ahead and bring that image
Bring
up
that
there.
image.
It's a not your average hike. It is a 20-mile hike that you have to complete in 8 hours.
Yep.
And they do this all over the country, in different places all over the country. We'll be doing the one in St. Louis. So
Gravy.
Yes.
Gravy. Hey,
When
and you
is
know
that?
what?
September 8th.
If you're out there and if you know them, tag them. Okay? Because I want to challenge Craig Kohler and Scotty Kohler to do the Mammoth March with us.
Yep, there we
in
go.
St. Louis.
That's just in their
Those
neighborhood
boys
too.
out there in
So
St. Louis. I want to challenge Scotty and Craig Kohler.
So we
Anyway,
got 8 months to train.
8
I'll be
months.
doing some training
20
on that.
miles, dude, in 8 hours. That's gravy, bro.
oh, compared to the stuff we
That's
did in the
gravy.
military,
Oh.
that's nothing.
That's gravy. That's
I'll
a
be doing
brisk
some-
walk, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so, with that, what else is going on?
Oh man.
Just some current events. What's going on?
You
We
know,
got the
so I want to bring up KC Pet Project.
KC Pet Project.
They are doing some really
we
cool
support
stuff.
KC Pet Project.
Yes, we
for
do.
sure.
I do have another flyer
Another
for them.
flyer.
Bring
Throw
that
it
up
up
there.
there.
So they are doing sweating off the shelter pounds.
Yeah.
And they are doing through the 28th. Every dog over 30 pounds is $30 to take home today. You can
Okay.
take home for $30. You can take home any dog over 30 pounds.
Go
that's
get you
great.
some bully breeds.
Yes, they're with all this cold weather. They had a
Yes.
whole bunch of dogs come in, and
Yep.
they are
They did.
at capacity. So they
Yep.
need some people to step up and take care of these dogs.
They really do. And you
So-
know what? I used to volunteer at the KC Pet Project. Hey, Kohler.
There he is.
There he is. Hey, Craig, are you going to do the Mammoth March with us? Thank
September-
you. Thank you
September
for the
8th.
compliment, brother. September 8th. We want you guys to do the Mammoth March. with us, you and Scotty. Let's do it, brother. So, okay, so KC Pet Project rocks.
Yes,
what else
they
are
do.
we going to do?
Well,
Or what else is going on?
So not this Friday, Saturday, but next Friday, Saturday, Sunday is KC World of Wheels.
World of Wheels.
This will personally be my first World of Wheels.
No
We're going to
kidding?
be there.
Yes, it is my first World
We're
of
gonna be
Wheels.
there.
You know, I went to World of the Wheels back in the 70s with my parents
Yeah.
and actually got to see and meet Evel Knievel back in the day.
That's awesome.
Really?
Dude. Awful Knaawful.
If I remember right, they're doing a tribute to Evel Knievel in this one, aren't they? Didn't we see
Yeah.
that
I
Yeah,
today?
yeah.
Yeah, we
so,
sure did see that.
World of Wheels, February.
2nd through the 5th or 6th. I'd have to look on that.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday,
Monday,
Sunday.
Tuesday.
Just Friday, Saturday,
Okay.
Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can't have the 2nd through the 5th. and only
Right.
have
It'll be
Friday, Saturday,
the
Sunday.
fifth, the 5th through the 7th.
5th through the 7th. There
Okay.
we go. So, World of Wheels. Go there. Look
Yep.
at some really cool, badass cars. We love them. What else?
So let's see. We have the Mavericks. They are doing a special veterans tribute. Special pricing for vets and active duty. There you go.
What are the Mavericks? Hockey.
They are hockey, and
So
they are,
go out,
Yep.
watch them kick sticks, and beat the shit out of each other.
Right.
For the veterans, man.
And that's out in Independence, out at the
Oh, yeah.
Cable Dahmer. No, it's not
Yeah,
Cable
the Cable Dahmer Arena.
Okay,
Cable
yeah,
Dahmer
yeah.
Arena out there in Independence.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's cool.
And then June 8th, we have Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire coming to Kansas
Lionel
City.
Richie, sing me a Lionel Richie song, brother.
You got
You
one
know
off
what?
the
I
top of
can't
your
even
head?
think one off the top of my head because
Oh,
you put me
man.
on the spot.
All right. Dancing on the Ceiling, is that Lionel Richie?
Oh no, but anyway, if somebody puts one of the songs out there, I'll try to sing it.
We don't even
Say
know. I
you,
can't even. Yeah,
say me.
that's it. Come on, Chuck,
okay.
get it. Okay, one of his things in his resume was not singers.
No,
Okay.
definitely not singers.
So, all right. So, anyway, some cool stuff happening,
Yep.
and you know, we are past
let's
8
not
o'clock.
forget. Sorry, let's not forget Sunday, guys. We got the Chiefs at the Ravens.
And that's what I was about to get into.
I know we were going to talk
past.
about that, so I know we're going a little past, but I think you all are going to want to stick around for this.
So the Chiefs not this last week, but 2 weeks ago, cold as
Oh man.
okay.
Yeah,
And out
negative
there-
temperatures.
Negative.
70
Dangerous.
Over 70 people treated for hypothermia
Yep.
and frostbite.
Yeah.
And some of them, they still don't know if they're going to lose their extremities.
Right. There was guys out there that they brought up on TV with no shirts on.
Yeah.
Negative
Okay.
8 degrees, and they're out there shirtless.
They're more man than I am. Not me. Not I, Samurai.
Right.
So, yeah. Chuck, I know you're dying over there, man, to
Which
talk
part?
about the Chiefs. Talk about them, man. And then
Man.
we got some stuff I want to close with that don't have anything to do with football.
Well,
But it's got to do with sports.
I mean, if you're from Kansas City, who doesn't love the Chiefs, especially right now? We're on a winning streak. Hopefully, we're going to go back to the Super Bowl and defend our title one more time this year. But I know we've been talking about a little bit of controversy surrounding the logo.
the logo.
Yeah.
You know what?
I know if you guys have heard about this, but
Okay.
Well, hold on. What logo?
No, we're talking
The
about
Super
the
Bowl
Super
logo.
Bowl
The
logo.
Super Bowl logo,
We've got
okay.
some predictions out there. So and Chuck and I have gone back and forth about this. This is something that I love to get under people's skin with because I like to tell people that this game is just more rigged than the WWE, okay? I'll just say it, man. Football, NFL is more rigged than the WWE. Whether I believe that or not, that's for you to know and me to find out, okay?
But we have
Because-
we've gone back and forth a few times on whether this is scripted. There's been several commentators
Right.
out there during their commentation. They've even said, well, the script read. So there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this.
Right.
But recently, actually, I don't even know if it's necessarily recently.
There's a prediction.
Yeah, there's been predictions, and there's been some controversy surrounding the Super
There's
Bowl
some
logo.
conspiracy theories.
Right, and the colors of the Super Bowl logo
let's
for the
go-
last 3 years.
So let's go to that.
So
yeah.
we've got a video for you guys to watch, and then we'll take some comments afterwards and see what you think.
Yeah, you
Roll
guys.
it.
Oh, well, look at that. It's Championship Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you want to hear my predictions. No, it's all fixed. We already know what's about to happen. The Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs, and the San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the Lions. It started off with the Super Bowl logo. Purple, red, past couple of years, same exact concept. This was at the beginning of the season. And then to add insult to injury, my buddy sends me this picture from a local news station saying the same shit. San Francisco 49ers at the Baltimore Ravens. But hey folks, I'll go one step further. With this Super Bowl logo conspiracy, them shoving it in our faces, the NFL scripted, whatever. We all know the color scheme tells you the opponents, but look at this. Each and every single logo, the color that is the least represented is the winner. The LA Rams had the least amount represented in their logo. The Chiefs had the least amount represented in theirs. And look at that. Red is the least represented in the Super Bowl logo. When you see the San Francisco 49ers raise the Lombardi Trophy, just know this was pre-planned.
All right, so
What do you think?
hey, everybody, look, man, we're going to follow this all the way through the Super Bowl and see if these guys are telling the truth, okay? So my thought is, you know what? That last one, that red, I mean, red doesn't, San Francisco Chiefs, they're both red, so
Right.
that could be, you know, whatever. And then Chuck here,
So, as you heard the guy talk about in the video just now, the current logo being red and purple, they're saying that the red is representing the 49ers and the purple is representing the Ravens. But here's one for you. What two colors make purple? Red and blue. So who's to say it ain't going to be the Chiefs versus the Lions? Because that's what I'm going to believe, because I'm always going to believe in my Chiefs, baby. I'm just saying. Think
right?
about it.
Think about it. So you guys think about it. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Put in the comments.
Put in the
What do you
comments.
guys think? Who's going to the Super Bowl? Is this conspiracy true? What's going on? Tell us.
Danny says check with the Simpsons. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that
Danny.
one.
We're gonna watch The Simpsons. I'm gonna go watch that tonight. When
That's
I
right,
leave.
Rachel. That's what I'm saying. Chiefs
So-
and Lions, red and blue make purple.
I
There we
will
go.
say this. After this last weekend's game, did y'all know that Bass, the kicker, was getting death threats for missing that field goal? Death threats for missing the field goal.
Yeah, you know, if
Somebody
any of,
else got death threats back in the
yeah,
day, didn't they?
I'm going to take you back a little bit, back to the year of 1995. How many of you guys, put in the comments, can remember a kicker who was deemed the kicker whose name shall never be mentioned? That was actually the nickname he was given, Mr. Lynn Elliott, in the Chiefs versus the Colts playoff game in 1995,
He was a Kansas
who
City
not
Chief.
only missed one field goal, but he missed 3 field goals from the 35, the 39, and the 42nd yard line.
Wonder how much you made off of that.
I'm telling you, man, and that was the
Probably
game
as much
that actually,
as Mahomes made throwing last year.
yeah, that game
not this
ended
last
his
year, but
career. How many of y'all remember that? So the reason I bring that up is to say that, man, it sucks for them to have their kicker miss that, of course. But I'm telling you,
Death threats, man. Come on, dude.
you guys got to have something
People
better to
just get
do
stupid over this
than
shit.
sit back over a game and start threatening people's lives because your team
Because
didn't
they missed
win.
the kick.
I mean, it's entertainment, guys. Come on. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me
Well,
wrong.
Sports entertainment,
Yeah.
brother.
If you're in Kansas, though, you could lose a lot of money on
You
these
can.
games now.
Mutual
Now,
betting,
They
yeah,
got
pretty
that
much
sports
mutual
betting now over
Yeah.
in Kansas. So
Absolutely.
I mean,
All
they're
right.
still don't give
So
a
anyway.
Enough of the sports. We're kind of in a rush here to get finished. We may have to just take this show to 2 hours. Who the
Ray
hell knows?
Finkel.
We never
I like
know.
it.
We never know. So anyway, we've got a series that we want to do today. Okay, and we want to introduce this new segment, and it's called For the Reels. Okay, basically, I like to scroll reels. It's funny. I've run across some shit that just gets me dying. So I talk to these guys, and what we're going to do is we're going to take funny reels that we see throughout the week, and we're going to share them here just because they're funny, and we want to share them with you guys. So this guy that we're going to show right now, he cracks me up, okay? Listen, if you get offended easy, go ahead and just check out now. The guy's funny as hell. I don't care what the subject is. It's just hilarious. So if you got a sense of humor, you guys are going to love this guy. This has to do with sports. It has to do with the conversation we're talking about, not football, but it does have to do with sports. So let's show. Well, I want to introduce you guys to, if you don't know who J.P. Sears is, You're about to learn.
find out.
Let's go.
Well, I'm a women's boxer now. Did you hear the good news? USA Boxing just announced that men can box in the women's division. That's right. I can just punch women in the face now and everyone's all right with it. Hi-ya! Well, not just any man can compete in the women's division. Only men who lack the mental stability to not understand what their actual gender is. Like me. Because if you're going to have men committing violence against women, I think mentally unstable men are the safest ones to do it. I've been boxing for 20 years now. I took it up when I was a kid. Oh, I should also tell you, I'm a woman now too. I took that up last week. USA Boxing says the purpose of this policy is to promote fairness and safety for all boxers. Thank you, USA Boxing. I do need more safety and fairness in my women's sporting endeavors.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what?
Oh, my
That
gosh.
sparked a huge conversation with us today about, should women be able to be in the NFL and all this stuff? And that's a conversation. We're not going to get into that now. We just don't have time. But that guy's hilarious. That's a segment we're going to do. Hopefully from now on we'll have a couple different videos here and there. There's some funny shit out there. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. So next week we're going to be getting into the meat of the show.
Yep.
We're going to have some cool shit, and it's the last week of January.
It is.
We're going to close out January with a bang.
January 2024.
Can you believe it?
Fucking four,
Hey,
man.
you know what? It's still perfectly acceptable to say Happy New Year. I found that out today.
It
is.
When is it
Till the
stop?
end till the end of January, from what I've been told.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, you know what?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. We hope you guys are killing it out there. Look, level up. That's all we're doing. Live that elevated life.
Yep.
We just want everybody to understand that if you are in a place where you don't like the way things are going, it could be, and I'm not saying it is, and I know not for everybody, but it very well could be that all you need is just a little shift in mindset to change your whole existence.
On that note, one of our favorite personal development speakers, Wayne Dyer, has a quote that says, all you have to do is change the way you look at things for the things you look at to change.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
Absolutely. You can change your moment in an absolute instant.
One of his books, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you can change your life in an absolute instance, and we are perfect examples of that.
One of the books that he wrote that has really changed my life is Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. It's so true. So on that note, we're going to leave you with that.
One final thing.
What's your final thought?
Since we do this show for you guys, man, not only would we love to get your feedback, but throw some ideas out there on things you want us to talk about. We'd always love to hear what you guys think.
Yep. Shoot us a message on the page.
Absolutely.
Let us know.
Yes.
Yes, Wayne Dyer did pass on.
Yes, he
but
did.
His wisdom lives eternally.
Man.
So, you know what, everybody?
Yeah.
It's been a really cool show.
Yeah. I had fun.
How you like it, Chuck?
I love it. I can't wait to not only do more, but to see just how many people out there we can actually serve and help.
Yep, and we're going to get into the meat of things next week.
Yep.
And we're going to have some really funny, really cool shit. We're going to get going on getting some giveaways in there.
Yep.
We're only going to do a once-a-month giveaway, but every week you will have a chance to have your name entered in those giveaways. And the once-a-month giveaway is going to be very worthwhile.
Yes. Yep.
So anyway, until next week, everybody, you know the term.
Stay elevated.
Peace out and stay lifted.
Later.
Bye.